Hey YouTube, this is Apex 501 hitting you back with another video. I am hoping that you guys have had a great new year. I hope everybody's happy and healthy and well, COVID beard. Um, hope your Christmas was good. Hope Santa treated you right. Hope you were good for Santa. Um, and I'm so excited to be bringing this review today because it's a belt that was my absolute favorite. It's my favorite design, even maybe more than the Big Eagle. They're kind of neck and neck because I got into to watching wrestling with The Rock and Stone Cold when they had the Big Eagle, so that's always been my kind of first um, championship that I liked. It's still one of my favorites. This one, if not equal, is a tight second. Um, a lot of big greats held it: The Undertaker, Stone Cold, Kurt Angle, and of course your big boy Brock Lesnar. He's the guy that I loved watching carrying this belt. And I'm very glad that I hopped on it. I saw it on a deal on WWE Shop, and I thought about it. I kind of waited out. It was a pre Black Friday deal, and it was a really good price. So I thought about it. Maybe I'll wait it out. Maybe I'll see if Black Friday has a better deal. But I thought, you know what? It was there on the site. It was in front of me. The price was amazing. Um, so I hopped on it and I did it. And it came in like 5 days. It came stupid fast, like over a weekend. Um, so I was very excited I got it, and I was glad I got it because just out of curiosity, I checked on Black Friday to see what the deals would be. Um, and this belt was not on the site. It was not available for purchase. And just for fun, out of curiosity, about a week later, I checked back in again, and the belt was back, but not as good a price. So I'm glad I hopped on it when I did. I saved a ton. Um, and I'm very excited. I have it to show you here today. Um, yeah, so here we go. It is the Undisputed version 2 replica. And I have this belt bag up here only because if you don't know, WWE has changed how they do their belt bags. Normally they do it just with the WWE Network logo and then what the replica is. I'll take this one out of the way. Go down to this one. How they do it now is they still tell you what it is in that cool kind of Y2K font. But what they do instead of the logo is they put a design of the belt you bought, which I think is really cool. It's that still kind of rubbery, velvety feeling stuff. But it's really, really cool how they actually, and it's like well printed on here. It's got an excellent design of it. It looks just like the belt. The stones are plain white though, but whatever. So here we go. It is the Undisputed version 2 TV accurate belt. So we're going to start as we usually do from left to right. We have the male snapbox. Dang it, I always do that. The male snapbox, 2x8. And hopefully the first thing you'll notice is there is no stitching. It's all printed, tooled. It's got the kind of imitation tooling in the snapbox. It's not quite as good, I don't think, as the WWE big logo, but that is a different tooling style. I think it's called pebble tooling, where it's just got the little circles, stippled all over the place. This one has pretty much tooling looking in it. I'm so excited. It's got the gorgeous kind of floral stuff. See if I can get a good focus on that. Yep. There we go. It's pretty deep. It's pretty good. It's not the best. It's not real tooling, but boy howdy is it leaps and bounds. From the strap to the plates, I think this is the best replica WWE has ever done. It's got your well set in 2x8 male snaps, and then we're moving on to the plates, and then the tooling around the plates, which is that WWE Champion logo nestled inside a borderline, which is how the belt used to be. It has the black kind of bordering around the plates. These plates are stupid thick. I've heard the side plates at about 5 mils, center plate at 6+. So one of the kind of modifications I did take out all the trademarks just because I like TV accuracy. If you're looking back here, you can't see them. It would usually have them in gold, like the same gold as here. They would just not paint the trademarks. Essentially, I painted over them because I like the way it looks. One kind of cautionary tale and warning: this paint that they use is that gel paint kind of stuff where it's like a piece of plastic that's essentially placed in or glued in or whatever. The line between the W here, essentially 2/3 of the line between the W was gone. It fell out. It was there and then it fell out. So this chunk I was able to replace, put back in. Right there, you can see it matches up pretty well. This chunk, pretty much from the point there to the point down here, I had to redo. It's a thing where if you're not looking for it, you're not going to see it. But you can see how the paint is pretty flush. Like it's a thick amount of paint, so it's flush to how deep the etching is. You can see how it essentially goes to the top of the gold too. But here you can see that it's really deep right there because the plastic piece was gone. I lost that. That's actually a really good shot. You can see the line up there where the piece broke off, and then the line here where it was left over. This right here is still the paint that was on the belt. This in here I had to redo. But again, if you're not looking for it, you're not going to see it. It looks great. I just put the paint in. You have to do some kind of cleanup work with toothpicks so you get the exact lines that you want. All the gold shows. The scroll work and floral pattern on these plates is just sick. Let's see if I can... Yeah, that's how deep it is. It is absolutely insane. And it is the best, just the best I have ever seen. It's probably about 1 mil deep. And, like I said, you've got the black borders. They put a kind of matte black around it. I might go around and do gloss just so it matches the rest of the paint. Yeah, I'll make that decision later. You go on to the inner side plate. It's the McMahon family crest with the lion, of course. Ridiculous etching. You could throw water in there and take a swim. It's so deep. It's really good looking. And then something really cool too that just has me over the moon, and it probably shouldn't, but it does. If you look at the family crest, you can read the words. It's not the blob that was on there before on the 2 mil version. Then if you go over here, these side plates are essentially mirrored. I'll get to the property of plate in a second, just because there's some cool stuff about it if you didn't know. But here is the main piece. And I'm just so thrilled that all that black paint that was on the Figs version. See if I can get there you go. A good shot. All that black paint is gone. So it is TV accurate. Again, I took the trademark off. The eagle's painted. You can see it in the side of the light. It looks really good, just like the TV version. It's got the kind of two-tone effect. It is all the same color. If you look at it, straight on, it is exactly the same color. But because of the depth of the etching, at different angles, that's what gives you the two-tone effect. So you've got your World Wrestling Entertainment. Here's another thing too. The stones in here, these ones have like a point. They're not flat like replica stones usually are. They've got a little kind of point. Like it's not pointy to like poke you, but it's domed sort of. And then something else too that just has me over the moon. See if I can get, let's go to this one maybe. See if I can get a good shot in there. There's texturing around the stone holders, just like the one on TV. It's really cool, and that's what down here too. If you look, you've got texturing, little paint splash there, but I can take care of that. That's not a big deal. This one may be a better example. If I can get a good shot. Usually it works better if I get my finger in there too. There you go. You can see the texturing around the stone holders. All the paint looks great. It is perfect. You've got the globe. And actually right there you can see me. Hello, YouTube. And this curve, I have not touched this belt yet. See down there, my hand can essentially go underneath. Like, you can hear it. It has room under there. I have not added a single bit of curve to this plate. It is absolutely ridiculous. It is so good. This is, other than that paintwork, this is exactly how it is out of the belt bag. I haven't touched it. But you've got that bordering. And then, of course, now you may be saying, but Apex, what's up with that? It's got a nameplate. So, here's the story behind that. The nameplates from the old Figs versions, the 2mm versions, by size, they fit. But by posts, like what you screw into, they do not, because number one, the plates on the old Figs versions are 2mm, so your screws are going to be a lot shorter. And number two, on the Figs plates, they essentially came flat. So how the screw posts are, or the screw cylinders to accept them, they're flat but straight down. On these ones, the curve is pre-done in the belt. So the nameplate that comes with this does come off, but in the curve, the plate is, it has those cylinders to accept the screws straight down at an angle instead of having them flat like the 2mm. So if you shave off the outside of those cylinders a little bit on these outer ones, then it will fit. I'll show you how I did it with the screws underneath. It's not absolutely perfect. Like you can see right there, you can see underneath the nameplate there's still space in between on both sides. But again, if you're not looking for it, you're not going to see the imperfection. And the color matches. This is a nameplate from let's see, Wrestling Superstore. Just one that you can get with the name on it. You can get it in a couple of fonts. I liked it when it was just kind of the plain printing, and this is the closest. So that's what I got. But we're gonna move on, and I'll come back to how that worked, how I got it done when we get to the back of the belt and look at where the screws actually are. So that pattern continues all the way through the belt. You've got your two side plates, essentially mirrored the other ones. You can read that in there as well. That is so ridiculous. Look at that. Got your WWE logo on that side. And here is the property of plate. It's a little different and thankfully more TV accurate, because on the Figs version, the old WWE version, On here it said the shield was thinner, and it said, property of World Wrestling Entertainment Inc. It had the full thing. This one has property of World Wrestling Ent Inc., which is how Jamar actually had it. And then on the real version, it would have his website info underneath there. So that's a nice little touch. I'm so glad they did. And then you continue over to the female snap boxes, 2x5, non-stitched. So now we're going to go to the back of the belt. It is your basic textured backing. And it does not cover the screws, which is just fine. You can fix up plates, you can clean plates, do all that stuff. No stitching around here, no stitching around the border. This is probably the best replica strap I've ever seen, and I don't know if it's the best one they've ever done, because I think that maybe on the WWE Big Network logo, I think the strap might be a bit softer. Like this one's still pretty stiff. I can go right here to the plate, and it stays straight up. Not a lot of flex. You can get a lot of flex in the corners and the edges if you work them in. Like you can see how it's starting to fold right there, just because I've been working on them. The main corners are probably the best on flex. You can see over here too. There's, folding in there, folding in there. You've got to be careful with it so you don't crack. But I think if you do it in a warm enough place that, or if you do it inside, then it should be soft enough that it works. I did work a little bit over here too, just because this is a longer end. This is your male end, your 2x8, no stitching. So it looks really good. Here's the patch. It is my newest belt. It is a 2020 Super Special Awesome patch. I did take the caution small part sticker and the holographic sticker off. Again, I've said it a million times before. I'm not going to bore you with the story again. I like them to be more TV accurate, so I take the stickers off just so it looks black on the back. And here are all the 943,328 screws around the main plate. And as I did that pass there, you probably saw the screw that I had to get replaced for that nameplate. I'd see in total there are, I'd see 8 screws, or no, 8 screws, idiot. 12 screws around the outside. And they go around the top here, go around the sides, and then actually go up. So these 3 screws are for the nameplate. That's what lets the nameplate out. So this one right here is the one that is essentially the bottom of the main plate. I'll do a kind of inside the belt video later so you can see what the plates look like underneath, what the strap looks like without the plates. I have a couple of more of those on the docket too. I know I said I'd be doing those before. I was just excited to get this video out to you first. I will do those ones later. I may do them all in one. I may do them separately. I'll probably do them separately just so I get more time with each one and I don't have to stuff content in like I'm trying to right now. I'm running 18 minutes. But essentially for that nameplate, this is the only live screw, because that center screw is one that is exactly straight down from the center of the plate. So that is the one that mounts to the nameplate. And it essentially, what I did is I took the screw that goes to this belt. So I had the reference of the threading I needed. And I went to my local Ace Hardware. I went to a hardware store and just show them the threading you need. And the length of the post you need is 1/2 inch. That'll be what holds it in here. I did have to get a washer too, just because the head of the screw is so small and they didn't have one wider at the moment, and I just wanted to get it done. I'm not sure about snapping on the screw since it's only one screw holding it in, so I got like 4 or 5 of them. I think with all the screws and the washer, I think I spent like $1.09. It's stupidly inexpensive. And I will be painting the screw head black too, just so it matches this a little more. I may do it like a matte black instead of the gloss black that I had. But and then for the rest of the screws too, the other two screws, these are essentially dummy screws. They're not holding on to anything. The posts, the cylinders that accept the screws in the nameplate will not go this length, and they will not, like I said, they kind of bow out instead of bowing straight to accept the screws, you know, straight up like that. So these ones, they're just hot glued in. You know, they're in there secure enough that they won't move anywhere. It didn't hurt the belt. It didn't hurt the strap. They're essentially there for show. I can pop them out right now and then hot glue them back in. That's essentially all they are. It's just this one holding them in. As for the flexibility of the strap, you kind of have to work it in a little bit, but as you see, as I lift it up a little bit, I'm right at the middle. It's pretty well straight up. Where it shines, simply you know, from working it in, working your corners and stuff, is when, see how smoothly I can do this. Whoop. Snowy Minnesota, as usual, is when you hold it out straight. Like that. It's so heavy, it weighs on itself so easily. No matter where you do it from, and I dropped it. Like if you do it farther down on the strap, it just folds straight down. You saw how stiff it was. It hangs really well. The flop is okay. I mean, it's all right. It's not perfect. It's not real leather. It hangs down pretty well from the main sides. That curve is ridiculous. Like I said, I haven't touched it. It does all right. Ugh. But that is essentially it. If you have the money, do it. If you can find a good deal where you can make it work, do it. This is probably the best replica I've ever seen. It has, you know, correct tooling, no stitching, no patch box, ridiculous detail, just gargantuan curve, with a little kind of elbow grease and a little modding. You can get the old nameplates to fit. This is it, guys. This is the best belt. Look at that two-tone in there. That is gorgeous. This is the best replica I own. That's simply it. And I do have an old V2 as well. I'll probably do a comparison video. It won't be great just because when I bought that belt, I thought it had the paint mods done on it. No. Somebody literally, I don't know if they tried to use paint remover and then repainted. It took some love to get it looking at least acceptable. It was pretty wrecked up, and I'm not even happy with how it is now. I have some other options I'm going to try doing to it, see if I can make it better. But I will do a comparison between this one and the old V2 coming up here soon. So stay tuned for that. I'll hit you back at the next video, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy. This is Apex 501 signing off.